Welcome to Island Travel Group, where it's always sunny and 78 degrees. I'm Jennifer Whalen, Chief Experience Officer, and we are blessed with the presence of Lora Carlson today from Collette Vacations. Lora, thank you for joining us today to tell us all about the escorted motor coach tours around the world and what's happening with Collette Vacations.
Very good. I'm glad to be here, Jennifer. So happy to tell you about Collette and what we're seeing in the travel industry.
Wonderful. Basically, where does Collette travel?
Yes, we travel just about everywhere. We go to all 7 continents, so that means we do have tours that go to Antarctica, but we really have a lot of tours in Australia, New Zealand, Europe, Asia, and we have tours all over the Americas, North and South America, with about 45 tours in North America. So we have a strong presence there.
Excellent. Great way to see America.
Yeah.
Are there Collette tours operating right now?
We do not have any Collette tours operating right now. So we have canceled our tours through the end of June. To give everyone time to, get the things in place. And it's really something that as we look at what we will be able to operate, looking at what different countries are requiring, what airlines are operating to, what destinations. So it'll be a little bit, but we do currently have tours planned to run in July and beyond.
Fabulous. Good. Well, it's good to know we can look forward to July. Of course, we all know things could change. And like you said, that could be somewhat dependent on both internationally and domestic, what the countries decide they will allow across their borders. But
Yeah.
I think everyone's getting really excited. And I did hear that, with a little bit of soft opening all around the world, that countries, including the United States, are finding like the day they open up, even their locals, because they're pretty much just open to people within inside their country, hotels are sold out. And
Good
I
news.
think that's good news for you and I. It's certainly
Yeah.
good news for everyone in the travel industry and all the, millions of people in the travel industry that have not had a job in the last few months. So I know that, it just is really nice to hear and to see.
It is, and I'm definitely seeing people interested in planning their future trips. They can't travel right at the moment, but boy, they're eager and ready to think about the future. So that is really good.
Yes, I love hearing it. I love hearing, I love taking the phone calls and our clients planning. I'm happy for them. I really am. I'm happy for us, but I'm more happy for them. I'm happy that there's hope and there's a glimmer of light. And I know that they're going to enjoy their vacation and have something to look forward to. For those that do have vacations on the books, I see them, I talk to them, and that's all they can talk about is just counting down the days to that vacation that's coming up. So yeah. I'm hearing guests saying that things are going to be cheap once the ban is lifted, because tour operators are going to need and hotels are going to need business. Are you getting that vibe?
Well, I think it's going to be mixed. We do have an offer that I'm going to share with you later on, but also I think that the industry really needs people's support, and because of the lost revenue, I think that the hotels and the restaurants and the different places really need people's support, and that it would hurt them even more if the prices were too low. But saying that, I think you will see some sales, and we do have something special that we're going to be offering to your clients, Jennifer.
Wonderful. And I think strategically too, what I noticed is when I'm getting information from the hoteliers, that they are not like one brand isn't opening all of their hotels on the same date. They're slowly opening their hotels. And even that strategically is probably intelligent because they can fill one hotel and then move on and fill the next hotel and the next destination or hotel. Because even within one destination, sometimes I'm seeing, again, hotels are opening in stages. It's not like they're opening all of their hotels in one country or all of their hotels in one city. So, yeah, It's just good to
Right. And for Collette, we'll probably be able to open our North American tours back up before some of the other destinations, just depending on government regulations. But that may be something people look a little bit more at, is those North American tours.
very good. Yes, I'm hearing that too. And some say even the airlines are going to be cheaper in order to get customers, and others say that there are going to be limited flights, so there'll be
Right.
more demand. Are you hearing anything about those rumors?
Yeah, I'm hearing both of those things as well, that there are going to be, fewer flights out there. So that's something Colette is looking at as what destinations can we get people to? But I do believe that pricing will be lower, in the airlines.
Yeah, we're certainly seeing some of that now. So that now might be the time to book because the flights, although they are limited, I will say that. Some people that are used to getting nonstop flights to their destination are finding out they're ready to book, but can't get the nonstop
Yes,
flights.
yes, that's right. So that is a consideration. With the fewer flights, it might not be quite as easy to get where you want to go in as quick as a time as you'd like to go.
Yeah, those flights you've taken year after year may not be operating initially. We do certainly see them opening up in the near future.
Mhm.
Um, So the buzz in the industry is that guests will initially want to stay a little closer to home, or on the other side of that, you and I, have talked before about how we feel like you just said,
Mhm.
the trips in the United States, just like in other countries right now, they're starting to open up and welcome guests from their own country, not
Right.
necessarily open their borders. So that's how it's probably going to be in the United States. So if you want to travel sooner than later, it may be um, it may be important for you to look at a domestic trip right now. And so we'll just have to wait and see about that. But what are some of the most popular U.S.
Yeah.
tours that guests wanting to begin their trek around the United States, or maybe even repeat Collette vacationers may want to consider?
Yeah, there are so many beautiful places in our country. There really are. So, everything from national parks that you might visit out west or really all around the country, to our fall foliage in the East Coast. Just again, some wonderful, wonderful tours. Our most popular tours are the national park tours. So, people do like seeing them and going back, even if maybe years ago you traveled there or went to one of the parks as a child. It's fantastic to go back and see that again. And doing it as a tour with us gives the guests so much more of a full experience. You have the guide that's telling you about the history and the stories and answering questions. And we always find really unique, interesting places to take you that you'd never find on your own. And so people always say they're so glad that they did the tour rather than trying to do it all on their own.
Yeah, it sounds so easy traveling domestically, but I do find as a travel planner that the national parks are a bit challenging. Accommodations are challenging, even figuring
Mhm,
out exactly where that accommodation is, how close it is to the park. Is it in the park? I know that
mhm,
the parks limit the number of vehicles that can go in and out. They obviously limit the number of people that come and go through the parks to maintain that natural preserve.
mhm.
Um, and so it's a little more complicated than you might think. So I do think the tours are a great way to go. You're guaranteed to get in. You know you're going to get in. You know you're going to have the best guides, and you're going to see and hear everything there is, about the history and what
Yep,
you come to the park to see.
yeah.
On that same line, let me ask you, um, so you talked about even people that have gone to the national parks and may want to go at a later time. What is the age limit on some of these tours, or does it differ on different itineraries? Like, could
Yeah,
they bring their grandkids?
they can. So we're looking typically at children age 6 and up would be appropriate to bring on the tour. And so it would be a great intergenerational to bring a grandchild or bring your children and grandchildren on the tour with you. Could be fun to meet up with a college roommate and do a trip like this together. So all kinds of different combinations that make it fun, but it can be intergenerational for sure.
That's wonderful. And I believe you have some trips to share with us today.
I do. I'm going to share with you just a couple things, a glimpse of some of the destinations that you might consider. One of the tours I want to tell you about is our Southern Charm Tour. And this is a tour that takes you from Charleston, going to Savannah, and staying at Jekyll Island. It's just this great southern area where you have just interesting, warm people, great food, history, all of that in these 3 areas that we're going to go to. On the map, the number 2 means we're spending 2 nights in each hotel. So it's really a great pacing as we visit each of these cities. And look at these live oak trees that you have. We take you out to a plantation, and it's still a working plantation. And one of the special features that we have set up for you is a Gullah presentation. And Gullah culture and language was something that the slaves used because they came here speaking different languages. So they formed this Gullah tradition. And this woman's going to share some things about the Gullah language and history with us. So really an interesting interactive presentation. And then this tour also goes to the Jekyll Island Club, and we stay here at the Jekyll Island Club for 2 nights. The Jekyll Island Club, if you don't know, was something that was started by the really wealthy people at the turn of the century. So think about the Rockefellers and Vanderbilts and those names. And this is now a resort that we get to stay at and bring our guests to, so it's a favorite. This trip, by the way, you can also do as a holiday tour. So we run it year round pretty much. And when you go right after Thanksgiving, the holiday version, you get to see everything decorated for Christmas. We take you to see some lights in a special park that has that set up. And many people like to do a trip like this. Right.
But that's breathtaking.
Yeah. Another tour, Jennifer, that I wanted you to see is called Painted Canyons of the West. And I just love that name. And it does describe so well what you're going to see out in the West with these beautiful parks in Utah. So we come into Denver on this trip, and then we take you all the way through Utah to Las Vegas. But this trip really isn't about Denver or Las Vegas. It's about everything you see in between. And we're going to take you to 5 national parks, as well as national monuments and state parks along the way. That being said, if you would like to have more time in Denver or Las Vegas, we can help you add that on. So you could go in a couple days early, stay a couple days longer in Las Vegas to extend and enjoy your tour. But look at these gorgeous pictures. This actually is a picture right near the lodge that we use in the Red Cliff area. Here's Arches National Park. And what I love is that each of these parks that we visit looks so different. Each one has its unique look to it. This one is Bryce National Park, which is one of my favorites, where you look over and see these, they're called hoodoos, are the limestone formations that are still standing after the erosion around them has removed all of the land that was there. And Zion National Park. This one gives you more green, more mountains, the water. And what's beautiful about this trip is that it really gives you great pacing, where if you want to hike, you've got some half days at leisure where you could actually hike in these parks and then meet back up with a group. So it does give you time to see and experience the park rather than just a drive-through on a Motorcoach. It's not that. It's really getting to know the parks. So these are a couple favorites. These are a couple things I think anyone would like. We have many parks, many tours that visit national parks all over the country. And this is just one of them I wanted to give you a glimpse of today.
Lovely.
Yeah. A couple other things I'll tell you about Collette. We are a family-owned company. We've been in business for 102 years, and we offer you really some unique services. And one of those for you when you travel with Collette is we have a private sedan service. And this can pick you up at home or any location and drive you to the airport. And then we bring you back at the end of the tour. This is available when you're within 50 miles of the airport. And if you're 75 miles from the airport, we'll still offer the service at a small surcharge. And that being said, if you can't use the service at all, we actually give you a discount. So you would have a $50 discount if that isn't something that would work out for you.
Wonderful. Yes, I've had guests, of course, fly out because they want nonstop flights and fly out of Chicago, for example, from our Champaign County area. But I've had other guests that will go up and stay with a relative or a family member near O'Hare Airport within the 50-mile radius and take advantage of this sedan service. Yes. And others, like you said, that just took the discount and were happy to get it. And so that helped offset their travel expenses and parking.
Right, right. We try to make things as smooth as possible for you, and getting to the airport, parking can be one of the hassles that we can try to eliminate for you. And then I want to mention to you our insurance, because more than ever, people are realizing that insurance is important. But Collette has always offered this feature to our insurance, and that is to give you the chance to get a full cash refund, canceling anytime, any reason, no paperwork. You could actually cancel right up to the day before your trip leaves and get the full cash back. And we just want you to feel comfortable booking your future trips so that there isn't the hesitation of wondering if it's going to be okay to travel, or if you're going to be maybe even well enough to travel, or if you might plan a wedding that you didn't know about that would interfere with travel. You can cancel when you book a Collette tour and have our insurance. And then that same insurance covers you on tour if you need to go to the doctor, hospital, fly home early because of a medical situation. So that's something that we give you, really, that peace of mind with our insurance. And then we do have something new. Our waiver, our insurance waiver, is also going to give guests the ability to change their departure dates up to 60 days before the original book departure. So as you have a trip planned in the future, we get 60 days out. If you just feel like it's not going to work, something's not quite right, or it's changed for you, you can move to a new departure date, and that would even include the insurance. So you wouldn't lose the insurance. We just move it all to a new date. So we're always looking for ways that we can, again, make the traveler more comfortable with us and on tour. And one more thing, Jennifer, I wanted to let you know the special offer we have for your people, and that is a 10% savings on domestic tours. So this is for travel through March of 2021. And international tours, when they open up again, we'll be offering you now, as you plan, a 15% discount on the international tours. And then after March, so starting in April, if you want to book something April through the end of 2021, we're going to offer 10% for both domestic and international. So again, this is one of those savings to kind of take a look at. These can be some significant dollars of savings when you're looking at booking a tour.
That's lovely. So if I understood right, even though this does say for travel through March of 2021, you get 10% off, really for travel through the end of 2021 for domestic tours, you'll get 10% off. And for international tours, you'll get 15% off if you travel by March of 2021, and you'll get 10% off if you travel between March of 2021 or April through December of 2021.
Yes. Yep, that's
okay.
right. That's
right.
That.
Yeah. Fabulous. Well, thank you for that wonderful offer. And to book, you can start traveling as early. Collette will resume tours beginning in the United States as of July 1st, correct?
Yes, we're hoping that we can. We'll stay tuned, stay posted, but right now we have not canceled July departures.
Wonderful. Well, good. I do hope, I'm hopeful as well, that we can all travel very safely, which I know is our number one priority. But I love that you did mention earlier that you may be using the large motor coaches, but maybe even limiting the number of passengers on the motor coach.
That's right. We are looking at ways that we can change the way that we're traveling, and some things that may happen, well, definitely will happen, is more frequent cleaning of the motor coaches, hand sanitizer being used throughout the day, and then we may even have some tours where we're limiting the number of passengers. So instead of taking 44 people on a tour, we may limit that number down to 30 people on the tour so that there's more room to spread out in the motor coaches and you don't have as big of a group. So we'll be announcing which departures would be those limited numbers like that. But Jennifer, I do want to tell you, we have a series of tours already called Explorations. And these tours are already limited to a smaller number of people. They have a cap of 19 to 24 people maximum, and the average on those tours is more like 14 to 18 people. So for clients who would like to make sure that they're traveling in a smaller group, where you can have a more intimate experience, getting to know everyone really well, and going even to some restaurants that might be smaller in size, and seeing things in a different way. We have those exploration tours and a whole line of them that travel all over the world, including one in the US. We have a explorations tour to the state of Maine. And it does visit Acadia National Park as well as some other beautiful areas. And the most that we ever take on that tour is 24.
Wonderful. Do you know when that tour operates? Is it seasonal?
It is seasonal, so it runs from May through early October.
Oh, very good. So are they getting in on the lobster season there?
Yes, we do. We do. We get to meet a lobster farmer, or not farmer, but a trapper, and get to learn about that industry and get to eat it too.
Wonderful. And stay tuned for more videos and more information about what is happening in the travel industry throughout the world and what is happening here at Island Travel Group and how we are helping our guests plan for their future travel.